Having been a part of the credit card points and miles game for well over 7 years, I have experienced both spectrums of said game. 7 years ago, the fanciest thing we had were 5% rotating categories, as well as some very traditional transfer options. In the last 2 or 3 years, we have seen the credit card game transition completely into the coupon book land, where every single premium credit card has multiple coupons to justify said annual fee. And we are seeing inflation of these annual fees into the astronomical levels approaching $1,000. And in this video, we're going to talk about something super simple, especially with the announcement of the latest built card, which is what the is going on with credit cards. But before we hop into that content, guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe as it directly supports my channel. And I release credit card content here on YouTube weekly. Now, I will be the first person to say that I am actually a fan of the newer coupon book style, especially if it incorporates directly into your personal lifestyle. What this does make more challenging is juggling multiple premium credit cards, but if you find the one that's right for you, it really does click. And if you're unaware of why coupon books are the newest fad and why they are never going to disappear for the future of the credit card points and miles game, we could just take a look at American Express because they gave us the direct insight into why this is happening in their latest earnings call last year in 2025. And the CEO himself said that these companies are giving the credits for free to the credit card companies in exchange for their customer pool. A perfect example is the American Express Platinum. Its newest $75 quarterly Lululemon credit. Lululemon is definitely going to get more money out of the $75 advertisement that they are giving to the American Express customer. Most people who shop at Lululemon are going to spend upwards of three figures when they are purchasing a workout set, multiple pieces, and so on and so forth. It is a direct partnership between these companies as well as the credit card companies. You can take a look at the City Strata Elite as well. The Black Lane credit, while it does seem obscure to some people, if you are a higher level of spend and you take your first Black Lane and like it, you are going to spend way over the $100 that you are getting in credits biannually. So this is not going to disappear. And the question is how far are they going to go? Because we are getting to levels that are getting quite ridiculous. And those ridiculous levels that I'm talking about can definitely be seen in the built ecosystem and its latest reveals. I, for one, have been a built fanboy since the release of the credit card. Paying an inflated rent here in Miami, Florida, and being able to subsidize it in credit card points and miles was game changing. But the problem is many of us in the points and miles game were abusing the built credit card, just putting our 5 transactions and reaping all of the rewards, which led to the article that was posted last year that showed that Built was hemorrhaging upwards of $10 million a month and $120 million annually. So this credit card ecosystem was on its way out if there wasn't a major shakeup. And just this past couple weeks, we have received the official announcement of Built 2.0, and I believe we are entering into uncharted territory, and not in the good way. And the reason I say uncharted territories is because I want to believe I am someone that has a great grasp on the credit card points and miles game. I have been doing this for 7 years, and even after initially reading the announcement and everything that has subsequently followed, guys, my head is still spinning. And I see it online, I see it on Doctor of Credit, I see it on Reddit. Everyone is still confused at what Bill is doing. And if we feel like this, that we eat, drink, sleep, everything credit cards, imagine the general consumer that has no idea what the heck is going on. So when we look at the new built cards, it's going to earn traditional credit card points, which the built points are very powerful, but it's also going to be earning built cash, which can be redeemed internally in the built system. Up until today, over a week or two after the initial reveal, they still haven't talked about what built cash can be used for, and they just revealed it today. And again, surprise, my head is still spinning. I'm legit going to put the list scrolling down while I talk, and it's going to be scrolling for a while because, again, it's another laundry and complicating list because each and every category has a cap that you need to track. So there was over, I believe it's like 17 different redemption options. Some are cool, some are a complete waste. Like I personally will not be utilizing my Bill Cash on a $5 parking garage a month. I am not going to use my Bill Cash on GoPuff credits. Some cool ones are like dining, but again, they are capping you off at $25 a month, which can only exclusively be used at built dining restaurants, as well as ones that accept that specific form of payment. So again, limitations, limitations, limitations. So if we thought that the coupon world was a confusing world to be in, The built cards legit seem like you need Excel sheets, you need a whiteboard to track everything and where everything is going, if you're winning or not. And this is just getting, in my opinion, to a ridiculous level. All trash talk aside, while they are complicating, I do still see a little bit of value to be had in, let's say, the Palladium card, which does have the $400 of travel credit, priority pass, $200 of annual build cash, as well as a sign up bonus that includes both points and build cash plus status. So there is value on their cards. I'm not saying they're literal trash, but what I'm just saying is that if us in the credit card points and miles game are a little confused on if the credit card's good or not, even after reading everything that it has to be had, I do believe they're missing the mark here and just overcomplicating the overall ecosystem. The one thing that I do not like, a lot of people were happy about the built cash, but the capped seem to be a little bit on the heavier side. If most people want to utilize it on dining, I do believe capping people out at $25 of redemption for dining on a month is a little bit overboard. They're kind of forcing you to utilize your built cash on a monthly basis because there are monthly caps on each and every one of their categories. So again, more time is to be had to see. And Built has definitely heard because I don't know if you guys saw one day after the reveal of Built 2.0, the CEO took his talents to Reddit and did say that they were backtracking on some of the initial requirements to be able to earn points on your rent. But all in all, Built is trying very hard to kind of force the people that have their credit cards to actually use them so they can actually generate income and not go under in a future endeavor. But we will see. Time will tell if these credit cards are really going to hold their space in the credit card points and miles game. But all I have to say is I do not like the direction that we are going. The last thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap up this video is that with all of these changes of the overall premium travel credit card, as well as the built approach, it is getting harder and harder to justify multiple premium travel credit cards in your wallet. First up is definitely the annual fees, with the annual fees eclipsing almost $1,000 and making its way down to like $595 at the City Strata Elite. It's getting harder and harder to justify just from a price point alone, 2 to 3 premium travel credit cards. Let alone not only even counting the annual fee, the credits. If you have 3 to 4 premium travel credit cards, we now have upwards of 20 credits that we have to justify on an annualized basis. This is why you are seeing on a lot of wallet updates here on YouTube that a lot of even the biggest personalities are starting to trim some of those credit cards. And one of the biggest trims that I see from a lot of people is the Venture X. While the credit card is by no means necessary a bad credit card, with the overwhelming amount of credits that you have to justify already, having to then have to spend a $300 travel portal in one of the weaker ecosystems is not kind of moving the needle for a lot of people. So my heavy advice for 2026, guys, is take a very good look at your overall travel credit card and hone in on the ecosystem that matters the most to you. For me, it is City at this moment. By no means necessary is that my forever strategy, but I have my City Strata Elite, my Custom Cash, my Strata, as well as the American Airlines City credit cards, and that covers almost 90% of my daily expenditure. And then I have Hilton for my hotel stays. By no means necessary is that all I have, because I do have Chase on the background at some purchases, as well as with those 5% rotating categories being dining this quarter. But City is it for me. So my City Strata Elite will be my only premium travel credit card. And if I don't like it anymore, I will then transition over to the Amex Platinum or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And I have no problem doing so. So take a good look at your overall travel credit card setup. See what no longer works for you, what works for you. If you can have 4 premium credit cards and it all works, keep it going. But for the general consumer, it's probably the better move to start trimming that setup and eliminating some of those annual fees. But guys, we're going to end the video here. It was fun to talk about just the overall evolution of the credit card, the overwhelming coupon book, and whatever Built is doing with all of their Built cash and every other variable they have going on. But drop me a comment on your overall opinion of the premium travel credit card at this point and what you plan to do for 2026. And if you want another premium travel credit card video, I have one right here for you.